Hey guys, my name's Logan Edwards. I've been here in security for almost 2 years. I've been a supervisor on day shift for over 1 year now. A little bit more my background for what we're going to be talking about. I've been in the National Guard for 5 years. Learned a lot of self-defense, conflict resolution things through there. I'm a self-defense instructor. I took the class here middle of last year, and I've got a bachelor's of science from Pittsburgh State University. And I'm excited to talk about this today. So this is the Security Officer Conflict Resolution and De-Escalation course. So the other instructors, we've got Security Training Manager Jill Ashworth, obviously, and the new lead officer Kayla. And again, we're all certified as instructors through CRAFT. So we're going to talk about some of the things we're going to talk about today are verbal and nonverbal communication, situational awareness, which is one of my bigger deals. I think it's one of the most important things as far as, especially for security in general. We're going to talk about the pre-approach, what we're thinking about before making contact with people, whether they are or not upset. Active listening, another really important one. Providing solutions and some de-escalation tactics. So we'll start off with, let's talk about not talking. So what is nonverbal communication? Nonverbal communication, simply put, is body language. You've got eye contact, whether you're making it or not, body language, your gestures, facial expressions, proximity, how close, how far away you are from somebody when you're dealing with them, haptics, which is touch. We'll get into that a little bit later, and appearance, you don't want to judge people by any means, no matter what they look like. We're all just people. You should treat everyone the same, talk to everyone the same. So we'll start with, another important part here. So what percent of communication would you guys say is nonverbal? It's actually 93%. 93% of communication is nonverbal communication, which makes sense if you do think about it. Roughly 55% is body language. 38% is your tone of voice, how you're talking to somebody. And 7% is actually spoken word, what you say. So it's really not what you say, it's how you say it when you're dealing with any kind of communication, especially conflict resolution. So I'm sure we all know, we've all been there where, you're talking to somebody, you're trying to tell them, maybe you're upset, you're trying to tell them what's wrong, and maybe they're saying, yeah, okay, yeah, I understand, but they're not looking at you. Maybe they're writing stuff down, multitasking, and you're trying to get their full attention, and they're acting like they're saying things, the right words sometimes, but you just know they're not paying attention, and it's just making you more mad or upset. So that's a big issue with communication, and especially with security. It can lead to definitely getting escalated situations. We do not want that, so we want to make sure we get these skills down, these nonverbal skills. So right now, normally we would do a group activity. We would take turns expressing an emotion with a short message, we'll take turns trying to express an emotion without using words, and your partner is going to try to figure out what you're trying to tell them. And it's just a short message like, I'm angry, or I'm sad, or I'm really excited, something like that. Something simple to get a feel for the body language. Then we'll do a group discussion right after. How'd it go? Was it easy? Was it hard? That sort of thing. Should be relatively easy. Now we're going to talk about the pre-approach. So this means, okay, so in security, we get a call. There's a angry patron at the cashier's cage. They don't think the ATM gave them all their money, something similar to that. So regardless of what we're doing or what we're going to go talk to them about, we need to think about why, what, who, and how. Same as when we do an incident report. It's basically the same concept. So we need to think about, why are we approaching the scene? So what's going on, or why are we going up there? What's the issue? What also information have we been given? Do we know it's just a patron, a female patron, male patron, old, young? Is it several people? Did somebody get something stolen? There's all kinds of things it could be. Is this person intoxicated? That's another big one. Who are we responding to? Kind of covered that. And then how can I resolve this issue? So the more we know going in, the more we think about, the more we can think on, how can I resolve this issue? So if the more information we know, we can start thinking of, okay, somebody had something stolen. How can I fix this problem? I know I'm going to need surveillance. I'm going to have to do a report. Should I go ahead and contact law enforcement? There are a lot of things to think about on your way up, to have it ready to. You don't want to walk up to someone, not really know, and not know what you're going to say before you get there. You kind of want to have an idea, so you're not sitting there thinking, and you can fully engage with them and seem like you know what you're doing, because you do want to help them with whatever issue they have. So that's a one we'll discuss later more in detail. We'll also talk about situational awareness, one of the most important ones in my opinion. So we want to know how many people are involved. And you should use situational awareness as a skill. You got to practice it all the time to get good at it. It's so important. You want to know how many people are involved. If you're going to break up a fight or an argument that could lead to a fight, well, is it a group of people? Are the people near this argument, drunk college kids ready to, as soon as something goes down, now it's going to be a bar fight? You need to be looking and thinking of, this could be a lot more people in a lot bigger situation. Maybe you want to respond with 2 or 3 officers or a supervisor or a manager. What is their demeanor? What is their body language? Again, going back to nonverbal. Are they mad? Are they, scared? What's going on? Like, do they look like they're about ready to fight at any point? Are they keeping their distance? Do they have any weapons? Do they have anything in their hands? Are they clutching an empty beer bottle that they could bash on someone's head? Everything can be a weapon. So if they got anything on them, you should automatically assume that could be used as a weapon, and you need to be aware of that. Keep your eyes on it. Watch your proximity. Observe your environment. Is it crowded? Is it not crowded? If you're on the tile, is the floor wet? Did there spilled beer or anything like that on the ground? Is there already broken glass on the ground? Is there blood? Whatever. You should always check the scene, your environment, the immediate environment. What's going on? Is there any clues right here as to what may have just happened before I got here that I didn't know about? Little bits of information can go a long way before you even start to talk to somebody. And then serious situations, routes of egress. If this gets really bad, or they have weapons or something, and I'm not an armed officer, where's my exit? Where can I go? If I have a group of people start coming at me, and I'm by myself, where can I go? You should, and take that wherever you go in life. You should always know where an exit is. You never know what could happen. Something to always just keep in the back of your mind. Covering concealment, really not a big issue at downstream. I don't think it's ever even happened, but it could. People have guns. A lot of times you don't know it until they start shooting it. I mean, you should always, especially if you're an armed officer like me, I'm always thinking of covering concealment. Especially like in the parking lot, we never go out alone. I know I've got all these cars around me, or ditches, or the barriers, things like that. But most of you are not armed, so we don't want to get too much into that. And then also intuition. You should always trust your intuition. We've all had that feeling of something doesn't feel right before, and then turns out something wasn't right. So always trust your intuition. Now we would watch a video of something that's happened at downstream before, and we'll discuss it. What went well? What could we have done differently? Really good training information, watching videos of previous incidents. So recognize the warning signs when you're walking up to somebody. Their verbal cues, their pitch variation. You know, some people get a real high voice and loud when they're upset or angry. Tone inflection, up and down, volume control. Especially with intoxicated people, they just talk loud, and especially when they're angry. Explicit language, threats, whether they mean them or not. Pay attention to those. Nonverbal cues. This happened to me the other day. I put it in the report because I noticed it, and I was a little bit extra nice to this guy who was being disruptive at the bar because he was showing these nonverbal cues of clenching his jaw, balling his fist, change in proximity. He kept moving around on me, and change in breathing pattern, all of them. He was not happy, even though he was saying calmly that he was fine. He wasn't. We didn't have much of an issue with him. He ended up leaving, but you don't want to just walk up to someone and, hey, here's what we're going to do. No, how's it going, man? Even if they just did something crazy, always approach nicely. A lot of times people will match your energy. You don't want to escalate it any further. Active listening. What does it look like? So, like the example we did earlier, for the activity, you can tell if someone's paying attention to you or they're not paying attention to you. Eye contact, repeating back key points, body language, tone of voice. So, like for example, we're talking to a patron, and they're going through a lot outside, in their life, and they came and lost all their money, and they're wanting to start a fight just because they're angry. Well, got a lot going on. I've handled this kind of situation many times. They could very easily escalate that, start fights, causing a lot of stuff we don't want to happen. But a lot of times, if people like that, if you'll just show active listening, let them talk and be engaged, make eye contact, nod your head, repeat back things they said to you, key points. So they know you're paying attention. People want to be heard. A lot of times when we're dealing with people out here, they're just going through stuff and having bad days, and they just want to voice what's going on, and they want someone to listen. And us in security, we can do that every single day we're here, and there's no reason for a lot of times to a lot of situations that we have here could be nipped in the bud just by talking to them, letting them vent to you, and being done. Just show that you listen, that you care, that you're here for them and want to help them. And a lot of times they will just be done and go back to what they were doing. That's happened to me several times, more than I can count. Now we'll do another group activity. You find a partner, tell a short 2 or 3 minute story, real, fake, whatever. pay attention to each other's body language when you're the one speaking. See if you can pick up on, are they paying attention or not, or are they clearly faking it, whatever, or are they actually engaged? Just, it's a good practice to start looking for that when you're talking to people so that you can be conscious of it when people are talking to you. Providing solutions. What's the end goal? Do we want them to just calm down? Do we want them to leave? Do we need to call law enforcement? Whatever. Do they need detained? Do they just need help? Whatever it is. The main things we have, alcohol cutoffs. These are the main 4 conflict resolution type of incidents that we deal with. So alcohol cutoffs is a big one. Disruptive guests. I just handled one the other day. Altercations. I've been involved in several of those. Broken them up. And ticket thefts. Ticket thefts every day. People take each other's money. Nothing new. One of big things from management, that, you know, they want us talking to the thefts, the suspects, nicely. They do not want us coming up, hey, give me that money back. We know you took it. You're not going to probably get it back, and it could start a fight. Talk to them like, hey man, did you happen to find some money earlier on a machine when you walked up to it? Talk to them like they're people. A lot of times they'll lie and say, oh yeah, I did, and give it back to you. That's fine. That's a lot better than coming up, give me that money back, and now that we're fighting or whatever. And the person doesn't get their money back. So we're all about customer service. Whether you mean it or not, sometimes you got to talk to the thefts like they're your best friend for a minute, so they'll cooperate, and then they go on with their day, you go on with yours. What resources do we have at our disposal? We've got team members, other security, other departments, hotel rooms. We can get intoxicated people into a hotel room, supervisors and managers if you don't know what you're doing or really need help. Surveillance can help us. We have law enforcement available. We can call taxis. We have EMT rooms. We have private areas where we can talk. We have a lot of resources to use. So a couple of key factors here at the end we want to talk about or keep in mind is policies and procedures. You know, we have certain ways. We only have certain ways that we can do most things. We have to follow the rules in a way. Customer service is a big one. Everything we do is customer service based, and safety is a big one. We want everyone to be safe. There's no need to start fights, prolong fights. We should try to eliminate all of them and prevent as many as possible. DCR's reputation. If we want money, we want people to keep coming back. We want them to be happy and have a good time when they're here, naturally. So you don't want to do anything that can harm the reputation of the place you work, obviously. And escalation level. How escalated is the situation when you get there? Definitely do not want to raise that level. We'll watch another video. A few tactics in closing here. Some pretty quick main options we have. We're talking with someone, they don't want to talk to us. We're going nowhere. You're getting frustrated. Stop talking and let them vent. Active listening. You can swap out. Get someone else in there. Like, hey, I got to get out of here. Will you please talk to this person? They're not having it. I've seen a lot of times that the new person comes in and they're their best friend for some reason, even though they're saying the same stuff. Sometimes we need law enforcement involved. Some situations we just don't want to approach in general. Let them do it, Detaining. Us armed officers, we do have cuffs. I was a self-defense instructor. I am trained in detaining and movement and all that. So we'll get into that in the phase 2 section down the road for the armed officers. We'll go through all that stuff. And then we'll do another activity here at the end. kind of a real life situation with like in groups, like 3 to 4 people, attempting to use de-escalation skills all around, like a whole scene. It'll be predetermined. We'll take a quiz here at the end. I'll ask everybody if they remember the nonverbal communication key points, active listening key points. How much communication is nonverbal? 93%. Situational awareness, we'll talk about that too. And then that will be the end of the presentation. And we'll do a survey at the end of this as well. I don't have it obviously, but that is it. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it.